Dear student, I am again here with my new presentation cum video from the subject Java Programming. Code of the subject is 3350703. Unit name is Building Blocks of the Language. This is second unit from the Java Programming, and the topic that I will cover here is Implement Programs for Arrays in Java. Myself K. Amja, lecturer in VPMP Polytechnic, Gandhinagar. The objective of this presentation is, after learning this topic, the students will be able to understand the steps to implement programs for arrays. Now we will see the introduction. Normally an array, it is a collection of similar types of element which has continuous memory location. It means array is nothing but having collection of similar types of element, same data type of elements which has continuous memory location. In Java, array it is an object which contains elements of a similar data type, as I said. Additionally, the elements of an array are stored in a continuous memory location. Yes, the addresses are continuous. It is a data structure where we store similar elements. We can store only a fixed set of elements in Java array. In Java, the index always starts from 0, as well as in C++, as well as in C. The array always starts from 0. Array in Java is index based. The first element of the array is stored at the 0th index. Second element is at first, and so on. So now we will talk about arrays of primitive data types, that is basic data types. So the syntax for primitive data types in case of arrays in Java is, this is the syntax: data type, name of the array, as it is array. So along with the name there is square bracket, new, and data type size. New is the operator, that this is unary operator that we are using for allocation of memory. We have created here a variable, that is array variable, okay, by using new. And this is fixed size. It depends upon the user to use the static values, as well as a programmer can define that values dynamically also. Where size is any decimal number, it defines number of elements you want to store in that array. These are examples, as we are talking about the primitive data types. So these are all examples of primitive data types: byte, float, integer. You can use short, then double. These all are primitive data types. This 100, 10, and 10, these are size of array, okay. And when we are talking about this particular, suppose I will take the second example. This is variable name val, and how it is created: by using the new operator. We have created the array value, that is val, and the data type is byte, having the size 10. Similarly, other examples are also there. So array, it is a fixed size sequential collection of elements having same data type. These are examples of general array, not about particular specific. These are general array. We can declare array without giving its size also. We do not have to provide array size at the time of declaration of array. This is example. This is return type. Then this is not about return type. This is type of array, then name of the array, and then size. This is syntax, and this is example. Similarly here also. This is how the creation of array is going on. Just now we talk about this one. This is by using new, you can create the array A having the size 10, and the data type is int. This is initialization of array. When I am talking about initialization of array, it means we are giving values to the elements of array. If suppose one element is there, then the indexing starts from A0 and the value is 16 for the first element. And if suppose we are having the value 6 here, it means the size would be 6 here, that is from A0 to A5. Now we will talk about the length, that belongs to array length from the Java. This is example of array length. In Java, all arrays store the allocated size in variable named length. Length, it is one of the attribute that is part of Java which we are taking to calculate the length of array. This is the syntax: integer size is equal to a dot length. A is a variable name for array. To find the length of array, we have used array name. that is small a or a double r you can use here, followed by the dot operator. This is dot operator, and length attribute. This is length attribute. Respectively, it determines the size of the array. So length, only length. There is no bracket associated with this. This is attribute attached with the array to find the size of array. This is example of array. You can calculate the length of array by using this particular function, that is, this is length attribute you can use to find out the length of array. We have created an array, name is num, and by using this length function we associate this particular length attribute with the variable array num. This is array that we have created by using new. Size is 10. Size is 10, that you will have to remember. And how you are going to calculate the length? By using this length attribute of array. This is already present in the system. You only need to write that particular keyword length by use along with the array name with dot operator. So num dot length. So this is array name, and after writing this, dot is the bridge between the array name as well as length attribute. By using this, you are able to calculate array length. This is array length and this is integer. As I have shown you, this is integer size is equal to a dot length. Similarly, here also the array created is num having the data type int, and similarly here the length that we have calculated here is int. By using the attribute length, you calculated the length of array and we assign that value to this integer array length, and after that we declared, that is displaying the value by using this SOP statement, and the output is 10. You can execute this in your system also. Now there are types of array: the one-dimensional array, two-dimensional array, and multi-dimensional array. Multi-dimensional array is having other name is Java, that is variable size array also. You all are knowing about the one-dimensional array. This is when at a glance how you can understand if there is a single square bracket, then it is a one-dimensional array. This is type of array, name of the array, and this is array prototype that you can see here. According to syntax, this is the example. This bracket you can associate it with in front of the array name or after the array name. This bracket is optional one, you can associate in front or in the back side. Okay, so this is in front of the array name and this is in the back side of the array name, and this is how you can create an array by using this new operator. Here you have created an array A by using new, and the size is 10 having the data type int. This is one-dimensional array. And this is how you can initialize the array. Here we have not specified the size, but by default the system will take it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 elements in the 6 values we have assigned to the array having the name A. So A0 is having the value 1, A1 is having the value 2, and so on. So accordingly the A0 is having the value 1, A1 is having the value 2, and so on. List of values are assigned from index number 0 and so on. Using command line argument, readline method, using scanner class method, you can assign the runtime values also, that is dynamic values to array from the command line argument using the methods like readline as well as scanner class method. Two-dimensional array, whenever we are talking about the two-dimensional array, you can see here the two brackets associated with this. That is, first one is for the row and other one is for the column. This is 3 into 4. That is, first one is always, you will have to remember, this is row and this is column. You can see here, this is one of the example, A, 2 and 3. It means 2 is the row value and 3 is the column value. So this is first row and this is second row. 0, 1, 2 and 3, this is column value. So you can represent the list of values by using this technique, or this is the other technique. You can use both ways to represent the two-dimensional array. You will have to remember only one thing here. This is row and this is column, and accordingly the values are going to be represented here. These are the two ways by using that you can represent the values. Next is variable sized arrays. So in Java you are getting this facility of variable sized array, that is arrays of array. Other name is multi-dimensional arrays also. It it is possible to declare a two-dimensional array. Why it is variable sized array? So as the size is varying in array, you can see here, as the name is variable size array, it means the size is varying. Variable size is variable in arrays. How it is variable? When we are representing two-dimensional array here, it is also possible to declare a two-dimensional array by using this multi-dimensional. So this is one of the example. Integer A, we are talking about two-dimensional array in case of variable size array. How we will do that? So first one is your row value, and column value we have not assigned. So how we are going to assign that? You just see here, for first row, x0 integer 2, x1 integer 4, and x2 integer 3. It means these are your column values which is varying in case of array, and this is row value which is fixed. This is 0, 1, 2. So total number of elements are 3. This is fixed. But what is varying here? The column values 2, 4 and 3. So first row you are having 2 columns that you can see here. For second row, for this one, you are having 4 columns, you can see here. And for third row you are having 3 columns that you can see here. So this is variable sized array. Here the number of columns are varying. We already assigned the row value which is fixed, but column values are varying. So for first row it is 2, column value is 2, for second row the column value is 4, and for third row the column value is 3. So this statement creates a two-dimensional array as having different length for each row as follows. So the value of length is varying in each case. When we are talking about the row, every time the value of row as well as, so different lengths are assigned here. For first row it is 2, for second row it is 4, and for third row it is 3. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, then subscribe it and keep watching the next video for the next consecutive topics from the programming in Java. Thank you again.